Welcome to my season end video where I'm going to do this at the end of every season before the new season comes out. The new season is going to be November 21st at 5 p.m. Eastern. That is when the new XP pass comes out, the new XP master set item, and the 5 new collectible upgradable cards. But before that, we are going to go through my, first thoughts of the game and, the first season and how I thought it went. Starting off, I'm going to say this now. Hold on to your Metro Division and Central Division players, mainly because next season's most likely going to be centered around those divisions, because this season, pretty blatantly, if you haven't been sleeping under a rock, it has been Atlantic and Pacific. As you're able to see with my team, it's mainly Atlantic and Pacific with some other divisions sprinkled in here and there for the certain boosts. So, starting off, we got your Slafkovsky's Team of the Week that I got on the first week of the game being released in September. Then we have Jack Hughes paired with Ivan Demidov. These three together, as you can see, get a +3 overall from 85 and 87, respectively, with the Demidov card. The reason is Montreal, USA born, next gen. That is the boost this lineup has. This line has the boost Montreal, USA-born player, and next-gen card. That's why this is a +3 from their respective overalls. Now we move on to Mikko Rantanen, Alexander Barkov, and Connor Bedard. The reason why these three are 93 from 86 is as follows. Finland, Chicago, Finland, Florida, beast mode. Then we have Dallas, Finland, Canada. Moving on, Nikita Kucherov, Nathan MacKinnon, and Will Smith. Nikita Kucherov, Tampa Bay, beast mode, USA. Then beast mode, Avalanche, San Jose. Moving on, Jack Eichel, Austin Matthews, Cole Caufield. If you have a keen eye, you'll see it's check my game, check my game, check my game. The way you can see that is right by the player's likeness, usually on the right side. It'll tell you the promotion name. Check my game, check my game, check my game. Now, it's also USA, which gives me, once I go to the full screen mode and you'll see the entire team in its full glory, it's a +8 ability point boost because of the triple USA and the triple check my game. Moving on to our defense in Mattias Samuelsson and Artem Zub. The first boost is a +3 for both players and overall for just simply being 2 Team of the Week cards. As you can see, Team of the Week is labeled by the bottom right. It's TOTW, Team of the Week, or the card background. The second boost for these two is a salary boost, meaning you have more over the cap that you can go, and you can get more of them. This is a +$6 million. I believe it's +6 or a +$9 million over the cap, so I can extend my team to create space for my $7 million cards, my $8 million cards, and eventually my $9 million cards I can throw into this team with the extra cap space these boosts give me. They will be changing at the end of the season, so I gotta remake my team, which I'll do at the end of every season. I will pick the cards that I want to keep and bring them into the next season. The rest, I will label as usable in terms of usable for sets, usable for objectives, whatever you want to do with them. They're just not going to play in the team unless that specific boost that requires that specific player or nation comes out. Moving on to Charlie McAvoy. The basic story on Charlie McAvoy and how and why I got him is day 1 of the season, which was September, late September. I had Bort Seider, captain's card, defense. I traded that Bort Seider plus 2 other 82s for an 85 overall Brady Tkachuk captain's card, which I used for a couple of weeks to complete the first week of Chell Week challenges. And then once he became obsolete. Like, he started getting slower because he's 6'4", 200-something pounds with very little skating attributes, very little shooting attributes. I replaced him and got Cider again, which then I took Cider a couple weeks later when they released the McAvoy. I grabbed McAvoy by putting in 282 overall captain's cards, which was Cider and Bedard, and I got this card for basically free. His teammate, line mate, I should say, Justin Barron, is only here for one of two things. He's here for the Boston-Nashville link. Then he's also here for the Boston-Canada link to get both ability point boost and a salary increase, so I can go over the cap like explained earlier. Next one is a big one. Ben Hutton and Kyle Burrows. They're both they're both Game Breakers cards, sorry. And the reason why they get a +2 from 80 to 82 is they're both they're both Game Breakers cards, and they both are in the Pacific. Pacific, yeah. They are the Knights and the Kings, which then gives me a +2 overall, a +6 ability point, and a +6 in cap relief. Moving on to our final two, which is our goaltenders. We've got 86 overall, Carey Price. Only reason I have him in my team is A, I'm a Canadiens fan, and B, it's for what's in the bottom right. As you can see, his aggression is 63, 6'3", 217 in pounds. Aggression 63, basically meaning he's going to stay deep in his net, hold and wait for pucks to come to him instead of going to them himself. He's going to be middle to low in his crease, holding the line to let shots hit him, and hopefully he covers it. He's going to work towards covering it over clearing it, but the guy I have replaced him with in Jake Oettinger, there's two main reasons why I replaced him. We've got his abilities cost 5 compared to Carey's only costing 3. And that's ability points. That's what ability points are. You get a certain number of ability points boosted to your account, which is around 18 to 20 to start without any boosts, and you can boost up more. I currently have 23 extra AP ability points to put towards my players. And right now I've favored my main goaltender because it's only Carey really playing the games. But I have Jake Oettinger in case as a backup if Carey starts getting, figured out. The biggest reason why Jake Oettinger is not in the net right now is because he is 6'6", 215. Those are good stats. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that he's 6'6", 225. I played 500 games with him as my goaltender last year. But the reason why he's not in the net right now is if you look in the bottom right, his aggression, 87 aggression as a 6'6", 250-pound-ish goaltender is nightmare fuel because he, unlike Carey's got 63, meaning he's going to stay in the net and play safe, play secure, hold to cover the puck, and hold to keep the puck in his grasp. Oettinger, on the other hand, if you're not actively controlling him to make sure he covers the puck, his first instinct is to clear it into the corners with the paddle, or the second he catches it, he's going to drop it and throw it on the backhand into a corner or to the closest teammate that he has near him, unless you take control of him and force him to hold it. That's the number one reason why I don't like Jake Oettinger. Yes, he gets you out of, big hits and, big shots that should go in because of being 6'6", 225. He's able to reach the pucks that Carey, on the other hand, probably won't. But Jake is there as an aggressor. If I'm up by 8 or if I'm up by 4, I'm going to put Jake Oettinger in net to secure the net, to secure the 4x6. But if I'm in a tight game and I need a goaltender that's going to cover, it's a 1-goal game, a 2-goal game, if I need a goaltender that I know I can trust to either A, take shots, meaning let the opponent shoot, which is not really the greatest option, or I just let him cover the puck and hold it in those tight situations. Usually last 2 minutes of a period is where I want him to cover the puck more than letting it out. But again, in the situation that I'm up by 3 or 4, third period, final minute, final seconds, I'll throw Jake Oettinger in just to guarantee those saves. the most likely scenario I'll see going into next season is I use Carey to do the beginning work, exhaust the other team, exhaust their chances, get them used to playing Carey, meaning a smaller goaltender. So then they try and compensate by aiming high or low in the corners to exploit his 6'3" stature. But then, third period comes around, they're expecting a 6'3" Carey Price, when in reality, this absolute unit shows up, and it's Jake Oettinger between the pipes, 6'6", 225. So they spend 40-ish in-game minutes, which is about 9 to 10 real minutes, figuring out they have to exploit a small goaltender that can't react to high/low corner shots. But the second they get to the third period and they drop the puck, they get control of it, they're like, okay, we'll go, continue the same pattern. They look, and who do they see in net? 6'6", 225 Jake Oettinger, and they realize their tactic they had just spent the 30 seconds of paused time during the intermission thinking about will not work because it's a 6'6" goaltender. And another thing I used to do last year was I would start with my smaller goaltender, and I'd do what I said. I'd bring in my taller goaltender, but then halfway through the third period, once they get used to, or like semi-used to going up against a taller goaltender, I'd bring back my starter. Calling a timeout and pulling the goaltender brings back the starter, and then they've spent the last 10 minutes of a crucial period worrying about a bigger goaltender, which then you bring your smaller goaltender in, so now they're recorrecting their shots for the bigger goaltender, but in reality, it's the smaller goaltender, and the smaller goaltender will work because with a smaller goaltender, they're aiming high and low in the corners. With a bigger goaltender, they're aiming usually above the pad under the blocker or above the pad under the glove. And with a smaller goaltender, they'll most likely reach it before them because A, Carey's 6'3", Jake's 6'6". You want Jake to cover your corners. You want Carey to cover the middle of the net, meaning the 4x6. You want the goaltender that is smaller in the beginning period or the second period to cover the middle of the net. And you want Jake Oettinger or whatever taller goaltender you have in your tandem to cover the top half and the bottom half of the net. That's just the basic philosophy, just to piss off your opponent. That's basically it. I've gotten countless wins. I mean, last year, if you saw my stream earlier today, you would have seen on my NHL 25 account, I have 1,644 wins, and majority of those wins are using that strategy. But anyways, that'll be it. Have a good one. Bye-bye.